Hello, welcome to Anshika's Academy. Today we will cover chapter number 18. Chapter number 18 of the Tamilnadu Board History. Bhakti Movement in Medieval India. There is mainly 5-6 topics that we will cover in this chapter. First, the rise and spread of Bhakti Movement in India. Second, Sufism and its development in India. Third, Bhakti saints like Sankara, Ramanuja and others. Fourth, Ramanuja, Kabir and Guru Nanak and their teachings. 5. Bhakti movement in Bengal and Maharashtra. 6. Importance of Bhakti movement. We have already studied the rise of Bhakti cult in Tamil Nadu during the 7th and 8th centuries. The Shaivite Nayaras and Vaishnavis always preached the Bhakti cult under the Pallavas, Pandyas and Cholas, but the spread of Bhakti movement in medieval India is a different kind. This medieval Bhakti movement was the direct result of the influence of the spread of Islam in India. Monotheism or belief in one God, equality and brotherhood of men, and rejection of ritual and class divisions are the distinctive characteristics of Islam. These Islamic sorry These Islamic ideas created a profound impact on the religious leaders of this period. Moreover, the preaching of Sufi teachers shaped the thinking of Bhakti reformers like Ramananda, Kabir, and Nanak. Sufism. Sufism was a liberal reform movement within Islam. It had its origin in Persia and spread into India in the 11th century. The first Sufi saint, Sheikh Ismail of Lahore, started preaching his ideas. The most famous of Sufi saints of India was Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti, who settled in Ajmer, which became the center of his activities. He made a number of disciples who are called Sufis of the Chishti order. Another well-known Sufi saint was Bahauddin Zakaria, who came under the influence of another famous mystic, Shihabuddin Suhrawardi. His branch of Sufi saints was known as the Sufis of the Suhrawardi order. Yet another famous Sufi saint was Nizamuddin Aulia, who belonged to the Chishti order and who was a mighty spiritual force. These Sufi saints are revered even today by not only Muslims but by a large number of Hindus. Their tombs have become popular places of pilgrimage for both communities. Sufism stress the elements of love and devotion as effective means of the realization of God. Love of God meant love of humanity, and so the Sufis believed service to humanity was tantamount to service to God. In Sufism, self-discipline was considered an essential condition to gain knowledge to God by sense of perception, while Orthodox Muslim emphasizes external conduct. The Sufis lays stress on inner purity. While the Orthodox believe in blind observance of rituals, the Sufis considered love and devotion as the only means of attaining salvation. According to them, one must have the guidance of a peer or guru, without which spiritual development is impossible. Sufism also inculcated a spirit of tolerance among its followers. Other ideas emphasized by Sufism are meditation, good actions, repentance of sins, performance of prayers and pilgrimages, fasting, charity, and suppression of passion by ascetic practices. These liberal and unorthodox features of Sufism had a profound influence on medieval Bhakti saints. In the later period, Akbar the Mughal emperor appreciated Sufi doctrines, which shaped his religious outlook and religious policies. Which the Sufi movement was becoming popular in India about the same time the Bhakti cult was gaining strength among the Hindus. The two parallel movements based on the doctrines of love and selfless devotion contributed a great deal to bringing the two communities closer together. However, this trend did not last long. The Bhakti movement. In the 9th century, Shankara started a Hindu revivalist movement, giving a new orientation to Hinduism. He was born in Kaladi, in Kerala. His doctrine of Advaita or monism was too abstract to appeal to the common man. Moreover, there was a reaction against the Advaita concept of Nirguna Brahman, God without attributes, with the emergence of the idea of Sagun Brahman, God with attributes. In the 12th century, Ramanuja, who was born at Sri Perumbudur near modern Chennai, priest Vishishtadvaita. According to him, God is a Sagun Brahman, the creative process, and all the objects in creation are real but not illusory as was held by Sankaracharya. Therefore, God, soul matter are real but God is inner substance and the rest are his attributes. He also advocates Prabhati Marg or path of self surrender to God. He invited the downtrodden to Vaishnavism. In the 13th century, Madhva from Kannada region propagated the Veda of Taoism of Jivatama and Puramatama. According to his philosophy, the world is not an illusion but a reality. God's all matter are unique in nature. Nimbarka and Vallabhacharya were also other preachers of Vaishnavite Bhakti in the Telangana region. Sudras was the disciple of Vallabhacharya and he popularized Krishna cult in North India. Mirabai was a great devotee of Krishna and she became popular in Rajasthan for her bhajanas. Tulsidas was a worshipper of Rama and composed the famous Ramcharitmanasa, the Hindi versions of Ramayana. In the 14th and 15th centuries, Ramananda, Kabir and Nanak remained great apostle of the Bhakti cult. They drew inspiration from old masters but showed a new path. They helped the common people to shed age-old superstitions and attain salvation through bhakti or pure devotion. Unlike the early reformers, they were not linked with any particular religious creed and did not believe in rituals and ceremonies. They condemned polytheism and believed in one God. They also denounced all forms of idolatry. They strongly believed in bhakti as the only means of salvation. They also emphasized the fundamental unity of all religions. Ramananda was born at Allahabad. He was originally a follower of Ramanuja. Later, he founded his own sect and preached his principles in Hindi at Banaras and Agra. He was a worshipper of Rama. He was the first to employ the vernacular medium to propagate his ideas. Simplification of worship and emancipation of people from the traditional caste rules were his two important contributions to Bhakti movement. He opposed the caste system and chose his disciples from all sections of society, disregarded caste. His disciples were Kabir, a Muslim weaver, Rai Das, a cobbler, Sena and Babar, Sadhana, a butcher, Dhanna, a Jat farmer, Narhari, a goldsmith, and Pipa, a Rajput prince. Kabir. Among the disciples of Ramananda, the most famous was Kabir. He was born near Banaras to a Brahmin widow, but he was brought up by a Muslim couple who were weavers by profession. He possessed an inquiring mind, and while in Banaras learnt much about Hinduism, he became familiar with Islamic teaching also, and Ramananda initiated him into the higher knowledge of Hindu and Muslim religious and philosophical ideas. Kabir's object was to reconcile Hindus and Muslims to establish harmony between the two sects. That he renounced idolatry and rituals and laid great emphasis on the equality of man before God. He emphasized the essential oneness of all religions by describing Hindus and Muslims as pots of same clay. To him, Rama and Allah, temple and mosque were the same. He regarded devotion to God as an effective means of salvation and urged that to achieve this one must have a pure heart free from cruelty, dishonesty, hypocrisy and insincerity. He is regarded as the greatest of the mystic sant and his followers are called Kabir Panthis. Guru Nanak. Another well-known saint preacher of the medieval period was Guru Nanak, founder of the Sikh religion and a disciple of Kabir. He was born in Talwandi near Lahore. He denounced caste distinctions and rituals like bathing in holy rivers. His conception of religion was highly practical and sternly ethical. He exhorted people to give up selfishness, falsehood, and hypocrisy, and to lead a life of truth, honesty, and kindness. Abide pure amidst the impurities of the world was one of his famous sayings. His life was dedicated to establishing harmony between Hindus and Muslims. His followers were known as Sikhs. Chaitanya was another well-known saint and reformer of Bengal who was popularized the Krishna cult. He renounced the world, became an ascetic and wanderer all over the country, preaching his ideas. He proclaimed the universal brotherhood of men and condemned all distinctions based on religion and caste. He emphasized love and peace and showed great sympathy to the sufferings of other people, especially that of the poor and the weak. He believed that through love and devotion, song and dance, a devotee can feel the presence of God. He accepted disciples from all classes and castes, and his teachings are widely followed in Bengal even today. Gyanadeva was the founder of Bhakti Movement in Maharashtra in the 13th century. It was called Maharashtra Dhamma. He wrote a contemporary commentary. He wrote a commentary of Bhagavad Gita called Ganeshwari. Namdeva preached the gospel of love. He opposed idol worship and priestly domination. He also opposed the caste system. In the 16th century, Eknath opposed caste distinctions and sympathetic towards the lower caste. He composed many lyrics and his bhajanas and kirtans were famous. Another Bhakti center of Maharashtra was Tukaram. A contemporary of Shivaji, he was responsible for creating a background for Maratha nationalism. He opposed all social distinctions. Importance of Bhakti movement. The importance of Bhakti movement was very great. Various preachers spoke and wrote in a regional languages, so the Bhakti movement provided an impetus for the development of regional languages such as Hindi, Marathi, Bengali, Kannada, etc. Through these languages, they made direct appeal to the masses. As the caste system was condemned by the Bhakti saints, the lower classes was raised to a position of great importance. The importance of women in society was also increased because the Bhakti movement gave equal importance to them. Moreover, the Bhakti movement gave to the people a simple religion without complicated rituals. They were required to show sincere devotion to God. The new idea of the life of charity and service to follow people developed. Learning outcomes from this chapter is this there is mainly 6 outcomes. First, origin and spread of Bhakti movement in medieval India. Second, Sufism and its different orders such as Chishti and Suhrawardi order. Third, early Bhakti saints like Sankara, Ramanuja and others. Fourth, the teachings of Ramananda, Kabir and Guru Nanak. Fifth, Bhakti movement in Bengal and Maharashtra. Sixth, importance of Bhakti movement. Thanks for watching.